Mohamed Irfaan, members of the Cabinet, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, and other permanent secretaries present here this evening, Director of the Guyana Tourism Authority, Mr. Baksh, Ms. Mangra, the Deputy Director, President of the Tourism and Hospitality Association of Guyana, Mr. Ram Kumar, Tushos, tourism stakeholders, nominees, special invited guests, staff of the Guyana Tourism Authority, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, jewels of the night. Mr. President, I just want to begin by expressing my gratitude to you for your leadership, your inspiration, and for the confidence that you've bestowed in me. I'm truly honored to be walking in your footsteps, and I'm deeply grateful for this opportunity. From the moment I assumed leadership of the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce in September, I made a promise to myself and to you that I would listen, learn, and act. My first official engagements were with hoteliers, tour guides, and tour operators. I have traveled widely since that day. I have visited the Rupununi on 3 separate occasions to walk trails, listen to seasoned tourism stakeholders, many of whom are in the room here tonight, sit beside guides, and witness firsthand how communities are stewarding their landscapes and stories. I went to Mainstay to join the motocross community and experience the energy and pride that the sport brings to tourism. I traveled along the winding rivers of the Kamuni Creek to launch Waya Green Escapes and to celebrate a local couple whose vision turned into a product that invites visitors to experience pure serenity. In November alone, we launched 12 new tourism experiences, bringing our total to 15 experiences this year, surpassing our initial target of 10. These first months of service were not brief encounters. They were immersive. They left me with a clearer conviction about our path and a sharper sense of the work that must follow. Tonight, we gather to applaud excellence and to mark the closing of Tourism Awareness Month 2025 with force and celebration. I've also never been so happy to welcome December. We recognize businesses that raise the standard of hospitality, tour operators who design fresh experiences, guides who carried our culture with dignity, and communities that open their doors with confidence. Every award presented this evening honors dedication, creativity, and careful attention to the visitor experience. Guyana recently recorded an 18% increase in visitor arrival for the first 7 months of this year as compared to the same period last year. This performance shows progress that must inspire continued effort. That growth reflects the resilience of our sector and the world's interest in our forests, rivers, culture, and people. We have set bold national goals to match that interest. By 2030, we intend to welcome 3 million transiting passengers through our ports of entry and to attract at least 1 million visitors annually. Those targets are ambitious. They demand improved infrastructure, better connectivity, and a product that offers visitors consistent quality, clear view, clear value, and genuine Guyanese experiences. I see the Director of Budget here this evening. Good evening and welcome. The room is I haven't said anything except welcome to the Director of Budget, and the room is already excited for 2026. I would like to reiterate that the Government of Guyana, through the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce and the Guyana Tourism Authority, remains fully committed to advancing this mandate and supporting the sector as we build towards these national targets. That work has already begun. The Linden-Mabura Hill Road, upgrading of 45 bridges between Mabura Hill and Lethen, improving connectivity and opening up opportunities. The rehabilitation of village roads, the Georgetown Renewal Plan, the beautification projects, and the construction of new ports. As such, our approach to 2026 will be even more aggressive, focusing on areas that have shown the greatest potential for expansion and long-term impact. We will intensify capacity building across all regions so that quality and professionalism are present in every tourism destination. The Tourism and Hospitality Training Institute will move from construction to full operational readiness, increasing the number of trained workers who can meet the demands of a rapidly growing sector. Regional tourism desks and information centers will be strengthened, and we will work closely with local leaders so that standards are clearly understood and consistently maintained. We will advance product development with greater urgency. The recent launches in the Rupununi in partnership with Quarry, Kumu, and Mokomoko villages demonstrate the creativity that exists in our communities and the leadership that is emerging across the region. I was having a conversation earlier with the Tushao from Toko, and I'm pleased to say that he has reported that since our visit to the Toko community, he has been booked out for the rest of the year. And I see the distinguished diplomats here this evening. Thank you so much for supporting us as you always do. Of course, our veteran High Commissioner as well. We still have to go down the Mahaica River together. Thank you always for, all of you, always for your support. These initiatives demonstrate that villages can create experiences that reflect their unique culture, landscape, and aspirations. They also remind us that community tourism is a serious economic pathway capable of creating employment, strengthening local pride, and adding new products to our national portfolio. Community engagement will continue to guide our decisions. In the Rupununi, I walked trails where guides spoke of conservation and of livelihoods tied to the land. I listened to operators and community leaders who are determined to protect their lands and to ensure that tourism benefits are shared equitably. Those conversations informed our approach to tourism circuit development and to technical assistance for community-based enterprises. We will expand training for guides, strengthen market access for craft producers, and support infrastructure improvements that enhance accessibility without compromising the site's integrity. I saw up close what is possible when a community decides to present itself to the world on its own terms, with support from the government through various grants, including presidential grants and proceeds from the Low Carbon Development Strategy. We will intensify technical assistance, business support, and marketing guidance for villages and entrepreneurs who are ready to take similar steps. We will deepen our engagement with eco-lodges, cultural enterprises, agri-tourism innovators, and tour operators seeking to scale their offerings and enhance their readiness for international and domestic visitors. The recent call for expressions of interest for eco-lodge development is part of this forward movement. It signals the government's intention to open space for well-designed, community-linked, environmentally responsible investments that can strengthen regional economies while protecting natural resources. Affordability for Guyanese is central to our work. Efforts to make this a reality have already begun. His Excellency recently issued a call for a 15% reduction on domestic airfares, and that announcement has opened the door for more affordable interregional travel for Guyanese. Hotels have also responded to the call for special domestic rates, and several tour operators have special packages designed specifically for Guyanese families and groups. These actions reflect a shared understanding that domestic tourism is vital to the sector's growth. They demonstrate that the private sector is willing to collaborate with the government to facilitate exploration within our own borders, making it easier, more affordable, and more appealing to our citizens in every region. Investment and marketing must continue to work hand in hand. We will deepen our engagement with the diaspora, refine our event calendar to deliver year-round reasons to visit, and pursue partnerships that open routes and increase seat capacity. We will engage with airlines, with the private sector, and with diplomatic partners to facilitate travel corridors that make Guyana more accessible. The progress we celebrate tonight will be multiplied when we couple promotion with readiness. Sustainability, of course, remains a central pillar of our work. Our forests, rivers, savannas, wetlands, and biodiversity support livelihoods and form the foundation of our tourism identity. The Green Destinations Good Travel Seal program has strengthened our commitment to responsible development and provided a clear framework for operators seeking to raise their environmental and social standards. A number of our interior lodges and coastal hotels have secured high ratings through this program, and several of them will be recognized here tonight. Their success affirms that Guyana can pursue growth while honoring our responsibility to protect the places that support our communities and attract visitors. To those who have already received awards tonight, and to those who will as the program progresses, I offer both congratulations and a charge. Continue to lift standards. Continue to innovate. Continue to employ young Guyanese and to create value chains that deliver income to communities. To the nominees, continue to refine your craft. We see you. The work of tourism requires persistence and continuous improvement. I close with gratitude. Thank you to the communities who opened their homes to me and to our team. Thank you to the entrepreneurs who took risks, and to the associations that organize and advocate for fair play. Thank you to the resilient staff of the Guyana Tourism Authority who toil behind the scenes, making magic by any means necessary. I see John taking an extra bow there. And thank you to the thousands of Guyanese who, through their hospitality, stories, and warm welcomes, make Destination Guyana an experience that visitors remember. Let this evening be a declaration. We will take what we have and we will make it stronger. We will expand opportunities across regions. We will invest in people. We will protect our environment. We will preserve our culture. We will welcome the world with confidence. Enjoy the rest of the ceremony And may the awards we give tonight inspire fresh partnerships for tourism across Guyana. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your week.
Community and tourism stakeholders. There was a time not so long ago, and our friends from Wilderness and Andrea, you guys know this well, Annette, if you had investment of the year announcement, you'll be struggling to find one investor. And tonight, listening to the long line of investors tells a story that is vastly different. And I want to applaud all of you for investing in this sector. I always know, recognizing the fact that I had some time in this sector directly also. I always think that we sometimes forget in the sector some important stakeholders who do very, very important work behind the scenes, but they're not seen at all. And one such person is Eggy. It's the Egg Ortiz. If you can stand. You can stand and you deserve it. This is an extraordinary gentleman, and what they do in the Civil Aviation Authority is just unbelievable work. In the last 4 years alone, they have licensed 90 new local carriers. And we have another 5 or 6 on the way. All local investment from this land. And most of them are new aircrafts, right? Most of them. And that is how things are changing. The other night I was here and I spoke about cash grant versus production. And I said then, as I say now, we are committed to everything I said. Cash grant will be there. But there's so much more important support that your government is giving you. That sometimes I think we become short-sighted in our approach. And when we become short-sighted, we allow ourselves to lose sight of what really constitutes a winning culture. And how do we build a winning culture in everyday life of our citizens? And I'll give you a few examples here tonight alone. TAG spoke about more incentives that the sector needs. And I'm here to tell you that the sector is not making use of 10% of the incentive that is available to the sector. As I speak to you tonight, there is absolutely not one outstanding investment application at Guyana Office of Investment. And Andrea is here, Baganara, an investment of about 1.5 million US dollars, 100% exemption. We fixed this when I was there, but industry still need to understand what is there. Because sometimes you will be pushing for things that are so glaring in front of you. The question is, how are we preparing our business models to get the investments, the opportunities that are there, the incentive? Are we even writing up your proposal? And my brother from Wilderness will tell you that for years, you had persons who want to be in this sector and don't even want to put up a proposal. Don't even want to invest to put the proposal together. And that is the role of TAG, the hand-holding role. Because if the problem is people are not making use of what is in the system, then what are we fighting for? And I want to position to you tonight that I'm going to hire 4 young persons, and I'm going to challenge you to go to them with your ideas. Let them help you write your business plan up, your investment plan, take it to go invest, get registered as a company, get registered with your TIN number, get registered under the regulations, and let us take it forward. There is absolutely no backdoor approach. You can't want to be part of a sector and then not want to be integrated into the sector by its rules, its regulations, its governance. So sometimes the private sector shoot themselves in the feet because they speak for a moment without an appreciation for what exists. And this is not knocking TAG at all, because I'm in full support of it. More incentives is going to come. But there is so much that is there that is not utilized. Guyana will tell you, they went through the learning curve. Wilderness can tell you, it's how you classify your investment. Classification, simple things like classification of your investment. Understanding the rules, how the rule apply. Understanding the product that you're promoting. Because in the hinterland, many times you're not only promoting a nature-based product, you're promoting sustainable agriculture. And that has a different incentive mechanism. So it is building out in a comprehensive way that proposal so that you can benefit from what is in the system. If you look, if I have to make a decision as a citizen, and I would say, if my government will give me X dollars of cash grant over 5 years, and X dollars of housing support, or housing improvement support over 5 years, which comes first? I would calculate my rental savings or my loan savings on the housing support, and then you will have an understanding of the annualized impact and the impact over 5 years. Similarly, the incentives that will come, we have already promised. Special incentives on four-wheel vehicle, four-door double cab pickup, which is crucial for the sector. We have incentives, and I said this, our product is an experience. If you go to Aruba, little Aruba, one of the most impactful experience is a safari drive in the open top vehicles. These are things that are available. We just have to get the documentation right. You just have to get, and it will tell you, and it helped many organizations, many communities. And she can tell you how, when you do the work in preparing the document, how the system helps you. But sometimes you don't want to do that heavy lifting in preparing the document, in preparing the proposal. And that is crucial. And if that is really the gap, my brother from TAG, then call upon the government to help you fill that gap with a human resource, capability and capacity to help you prepare the documents, prepare the investment agreement, help you build the companies within the rules and the architecture, so that we can take it through the investment agreement, GRA, the Ministry of Finance. Let us set up an interagency committee with TAG, the ministry, and these young people. And you have people in the room who did it and did it well. And let us get that going. You see, a winning culture requires knowing what game you're playing, understanding the rules of that game, and playing to win that game. But if we have a superficial analysis of the problem, then we will not go to the deeper solutions that are required. And tonight I want to position that together, we go to that deeper solution so that we can optimize what is already there. Are we there together? Yeah. One of the most amazing experiences I've had in the last few weeks is visiting Jamaica with a horrific hurricane. Life completely dismantled. And I walked many of the villages, talking to the residents. And some of the response I got was, "It's bad, man, but we are blessed. We're strong, yeah? We have life. We can rebuild. Jamaica strong. Jamaica love. Jamaica force. Jamaica can overcome. Jamaica blessed." That's a culture that is deep. That is a love that is deep. That is an understanding of what true patriots are. And that is what we need to build in this country and our country. And we must not shy away from it. It must happen from the airport you come down. It must happen on social media. Because that is what makes a difference. You can't sell something you don't love. You can't promote something you don't care about. You can't care about something you don't value. And that was an amazing experience. In the face of the greatest adversity in their lives, they were positive. Because they had life and they had country. They had life and they had country. An amazing experience. You know, when you look at this sector, recently we had an exhibition in Japan, and we were able to win bronze medal, the Bronze Award for exhibition design. How many of our newspapers took it to their front page as a headline? TAG spoke on the stage and did not say a word about this. So it's good if your punching bag is only the government. But it's better if we understand the priorities for this sector. Over the last 5 years, we have won at least 5 international awards. How much of it went on the front page of our newspaper? Should we ask the question as to why? Why? Why is it not there? Is it that we are afraid to celebrate our success? Or is it that we believe celebrating the success lifts the government up? No. It lifts the people up. It lifts the industry up. Well, we can sit and sidestep many of these issues. One of the amazing things about term limits is that it brings a sense of realization on leaders that does not allow you to sidestep issues. It allows you to confront it and drive and lead the change that is necessary. If you look at tourism sectors across the world, and we say tonight, and Dee is here, we had this discussion many times, right? If the entire tourism sector in tax it, we'll put 1% of our net revenue to marketing. And then say to the government, you match it with 4%, so we get 5%. I signed the deal now. These are the big issues and the big questions. When I went out with a team to get CPL finals here, the critics were loud. Not one headline from TAG backing the decision. And how great that was for this country in tourism. When we went for Global Super League, you were happier than anyone else in TAG. Not one headline led by TAG. And TAG is our friend. We'll back you. Let me say this very clearly. I am backing TAG and will work with TAG 1,000% to ensure the success of TAG in this industry. There is no sidestepping that. But we have to address this together. Rafik is in the room here. Rafik is one leader in the private sector who always backs what the sector needs. And he will tell you at 2, 3 a.m. in the morning, he will send a message and I'll respond to him immediately. And we'll draft solutions together. Because I know I'm comfortable when we make a decision, there's a champion there in the Manufacturing and Services Association that will back the decision. And let us not be shy about it. Leaders must know, if you're going to war, you must know your soldiers are backing you. If we're doing this, we must know that we're doing it together and we back each other together. It's the truth. It might be inconvenient, but it is the truth. Is it not the truth? Yes? It is just the truth. So, I'll start from some notes. 9 EOIs in the last 2 weeks for investment in the tourism sector. If all the operators in this room come together and raise $10 million US, and then come to the president and say, out of these 9, we want to form one consortium and take one to the next level. We can raise $10 million. Help us go to the IDB Invest and raise another $30 million so that we can build this one as a consortium. That is the role of God. Getting the room together. Not only the beautiful awards. How do we tomorrow get every stakeholder in the room to be part of one of that 9? The ambassador from DR is here. Let him tell you how they started in Punta Cana. It was people coming together. Just like the South is coming together. I guarantee you, and I want you to prove me wrong, that we would not have a consortium going for one of those 9 EOIs. Please prove me wrong. Come together. This is the time to win together. You make a stronger case. Then you have maybe more than 15 hotels, some completed, some will be completed soon. 2 new regional airports. The new Terminal 2 at the Chattanooga International Airport. 32 major hinterland airstrips we'll be investing in. Right, Aggie? 32 major hinterland airstrips. Every single tourism hub will have specific incentives for those hubs. Let us go, come to me, come to the government, and say, let us agree that the SME, a small and medium-sized tourism facility, may need $30 million, Guyana dollars. And let us go to the bank and say to them, we'll give you the same concessions for the low-income loan, for lending the small operators and medium-sized operators up to that $30 million at the interest rate of 3.8 to 4%. That is the conversation we should be having. That is what is going to shift us into high gear. The investment in regional infrastructure, the minister spoke about that. We are building out now for the first time a cultural market in Palmyra. First of its kind. Culture is one of our strongest points. 2 major waterfront development, the marina in Region 6. Today, we're talking about massive development in our waterways. New Berbice River Bridge. The Kurubukari Bridge, the Deepwater Port, the modern infrastructure linked to Brazil, the Quarantine River Bridge, the 4-lane connectivity, 4 new ferries coming, with tourism in mind when we purchase those ferries. New stadiums, an aggressive positioning of Guyana as a hosting destination. The modernization of the zoo, the botanical garden, the modernization of the cultural center, a new museum and art gallery. Those are just a few of the many projects we will do. So there is no second guessing whether this sector is going to be priority. This is a priority sector. And I want to recognize the work of the First Lady. Amazing work throughout this country in all the parks and grounds that are being taken. Top-notch work. Top-notch work. Whether it's in the seawalls, in Castive, in the interior, wherever. Today, they brought the private sector together, invested in a special building for persons living with disability, and had the private sector agree to employ one person each in that building. So you have 14 jobs created in that building that will support employment. I said, the Minister of Labor is here. And his job is manpower planning, by the way. That we want 5,000 persons living with disability to be incorporated in the workforce. And we're going to make it happen. We're going to make it happen. So again, recently, the skepticism was out again from the usual suspects. When I announced the orange economy, the plans for the development of the orange economy, the IDB can tell you what the orange economy is doing throughout the world now. It is a new big thing. And I said that we're going to come with the concept, we will have consultations in January and build out this orange economy. But again, we heard the most negative voice the loudest. But I love it, because I love defeating negativity. And I want to assure the stakeholders of our local tourism sector that we're moving full speed ahead. The global numbers speak for themselves. Tourism is a vital, fast-growing industry. It is exactly the kind of sector that can cushion our economy against external commodity shocks. It is also the cornerstone of our wider strategy to diversify the local economy, broaden our sources of growth, and generate and sustain meaningful employment for our people. Therefore, we are not slowing down. We are not turning back. We are building a stronger, more resilient, more creative Guyana. And tourism is central to that mission. That is why our commitment to tourism is not based on guesswork or wishful thinking. It is grounded in the undeniable global trends that show just how powerful and transformative this sector has become. Global tourism is once again one of the world's fastest growing industries. International arrivals reached 1.4 billion in 2024, an 11% jump from 2023. The sector generated $10.9 trillion US, or 10% of global GDP. It supported 357 million jobs. The momentum continued into 2025. In the first half of this year, international arrivals grew by about 5%. Global air travel rose by 7%. What this signals is that tourism is back after the contraction wrought by the pandemic. But it's not only back, it is surging forward, stronger, and it is unstoppable. These numbers show how important tourism has become to the global economy. In 2024, travel spent almost $2 trillion US, and that figure is expected to rise to $2.1 trillion in 2025. Countries across the world, from Japan and Spain to the UK and Turkey, reported strong increases in tourism earnings. The sector now fuels many other sectors: construction, transport, food production, culture, technology, and the digital economy. This is why it is said that where tourism grows, opportunity follows. As we roll out our new economy, tourism stands as a major pillar. It brings jobs, it attracts investment, it earns foreign exchange, it drives inclusive growth. The global trends are clear. Tourism is resilient, dynamic, and full of potential. Tourism continues to blossom in Guyana. The world is discovering Guyana, and demand is rising. The numbers tell the story. We recorded an 18% increase in visitor arrivals for January to July 2025. Our top source markets, the United States, the Caribbean, Canada, and Europe, continue to show strong growth. These results show that Guyana's appeal is widening and that our strategy is working. Our skyline is also changing. Hotels are rising across the country and creating infrastructure needed for a modern tourism economy. By the end of this year, we expect to have about 2,000 hotel rooms. This is a major leap forward, and there is much more coming. Over 50 new hotels are either under construction or in the planning stage. These investments strengthen our ability to welcome more visitors, support more jobs, and drive more economic activity. They are not isolated projects. They form part of a larger national push to build a stronger, more diverse economy. We are also expanding what Guyana offers. We're developing expedition and luxury cruise tourism. We are building a strong sports tourism sector. We are growing our festival tourism, niche and festival. Festival tourism. That is where the power is. You know, Colin, when we started the Rupununi Music Festival, I can point to these things, you know. The Guyana Festival. Amanda, when we brought the Guyana Festival, we brought back all the stars and all the celebrities from around the world. It was a grand homecoming. One of the things that hurt me the most between 2015 and 2020 when they abandoned the Guyana Festival. And I called the staff at GTA, I said, can't you convince these guys to please keep this? We've invested so much in this. Stacy is in the room, she can tell you. Blood, sweat, and tears when there was no money in the system. In the North Isle, saying you were there. We did it. Andrea, the Guyana Festival brought in thousands of persons into this country. And we didn't have the airlift like we have today. Festival tourism is important. Building out these products and keeping them. Every single day, I receive 3 or 4 texts. You know what is the question? Can't you do something to get back the finals, CPL finals next year in the next 3 years? From why the hell are you bringing that to Guyana, to this position today? But we're going to do it. We're looking at other events. And I'm not afraid to tell you, you win some, you lose some. I've engaged in the last 2 days an idea of trying to get the Hockey World Cup to come to Guyana. The Field Hockey World Cup. Because these are small opportunities that we can start buying into, that bring people in. If we want to create a destination Guyana, I'm going big in 2030 for one of the largest global events. We already put the letter in. I'm not going to tell you what it is. No. Bigger. Bigger. We're going for something that is extraordinary, something that tells the world who we are. And I'm going to keep it to my chest a bit longer. But know that we've already put a letter in. We're expanding what Guyana offers. We're developing our market for luxury cruise tourism. And when we build out the waterfront, I want you guys to come together, go to Royal Caribbean and say, you come to Trinidad, you have to add Guyana to your destination. We must pressure it. And we build out the infrastructure, our craft industry, our art industry, our artists. This is your business. You have to help me push, you have to help me fight. This thing cannot come to us. We have to fight for it. It's a competitive market. It's a hard market, but we have friends who will fight with us. Barbados is a home port for cruise liners, one of the top home ports. And I know my Prime Minister in Barbados will fight with us to get one of those cruise liners to come here, but help us to fight. Help us. Let's push together. I need everyone in this room. I'm as weak, we're as weak as the weakest person, and as strong as the strongest person. This is one sector. We have to push together. Let us break all the barriers, break down the obstacles. Let us do it together. Amazing opportunities ahead of us. The Orange economy ties all of this together. Through investments in culture, music, drama, craft, and the wider creative industries, we're enriching the visitor experience and creating new opportunities for Guyanese talent. To support this expansion, we have launched a project to build a National Hospitality Institute. And we have the Professor Sankat here. That is one of the most modern institutes we're launching. Billions of dollars of investment. Without trained people, our tourism product would weaken. And we cannot allow that. The Institute will help us maintain high standards and prepare our workforce for the demands of a growing industry. It will protect the gains we are making and ensure that tourism remains a strong pillar of national development. Skilled people will drive the next stage of Guyana's transformation. This focus on people and skills form the bridge to our wider national vision, one that places creativity and culture at the heart of an emerging Orange economy. The Orange economy is part of the economy that is driven by creativity, culture, and ideas. It includes activity that uses talent, imagination, and cultural expression to create value. It is called orange because the color is often linked to creativity and culture. This economy helps countries earn more, not only from natural resources, but also from the skills and artistic strengths of their people. It creates jobs, supports small businesses, and strengthens national identity. The Orange economy includes many sectors. They include music, film, theater, dance, visual arts, fashion, design, craft, festivals, and cultural events. It also includes creative services like advertising, architecture, publishing, animation, gaming, and digital media. Cultural heritage, such as museums, historical sites, and traditional practices, is also part of it. Together, these elements produce goods and experiences that people value, enjoy, and are willing to pay for. In this way, the Orange economy turns creativity into economic opportunity. We have a vision, too, of our Orange economy. It is geared to build a vibrant, creative economy that empowers our people, enriches our tourism product, strengthens our national identity, and drives sustainable, diversified growth, where culture and creativity become engines of opportunity. While the Orange economy brings a dynamic new energy to our tourism sector, it is not being positioned to replace our traditional offerings, but rather to profoundly enrich them. This synergy creates a more compelling and resilient destination, where a visit to our pristine eco reserves can be paired with a night of world-class music and entertainment, or a tour of a historical site. This powerful combination allows us to offer deeper, more authentic experiences that cater to the evolving traveler desires. Therefore, we must view this investment in the Orange economy not as a competition. We all have a role in weaving these threads together to build a stronger, more diverse tourism product that will truly be the envy of the world. On that note of unity and shared purpose, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to tonight's awardees. Your excellence are the very foundation of our future success. And I wish all of you continued growth and achievement in all your endeavors. I thank you. God bless you. And I leave you with one message. We are in this movie together. We are one cast. We are one plot. We are one suspense. And we are one block Buster on the way. I thank you and God bless you.
Masters of ceremony, and thank you for breaking the ice, and thank you to the dynamic director of the Guyana Tourism Authority for your opening remarks. His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali, President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Honorable Susan Rodriguez, Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, members of the Diplomatic Corps. I don't think I need to mention Mr. Bash, the Dynamic Director, again. So, the PS of the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, other PSs, members of government, members of cabinet, heads of agencies. I see the Director General from GCA here, and many other private sector leaders in the room. I address all of you, executives and members of TAG. I see so many of you here. If I were to call the names, I'll run out of my time, and I'm trusting with brief remarks. I'll try to keep it as short as possible. Executives of and staff of Mintic, GTA, and TAG. These are hard-working staff, and I believe they deserve a round of applause for doing all the work they do. Tourism partners, friends, members of the media, good evening. It is a pleasure for me, as President of TAG, to stand before you this evening to celebrate excellence, honor dedication, and recognize collaborative effort that continues to shape the future of tourism in our beloved country. Honorable Minister, me being given the opportunity to address this fancy crowd is an example of PPP at work. I know the room gets silent. I know what you're thinking, but I mean public-private partnership. And the director underscored how strong that partnership is working and will continue to be. And so to that end, one of the things that we will be doing as TAG is joining with the minister and the GTA on the campaign of tourism is everybody's business, to change some of the unbecoming behavior, to put it mildly. I see my friend Mr. De Freitas here. And so it emphasizes the point that tourism is a catalyst for positive change. His Excellency, if you would permit me to be add a little humor into this program. A few evenings ago, I know you mentioned what will get the crowd excited. And one of the things you mentioned is production, and that didn't get the crowd excited. And then you mentioned cash grant. But I want to say to you that what will get this crowd excited is tax concession on Land Cruiser, SUV, and 4x4 pickup. I must mention at this point that VIP concierge type service is surging in its demand. People are coming with private jets, and they require to be transported in these type of vehicles, especially Land Cruiser, because it provides that extra layer of safety and comfort. And so while we are on the topic of tax concession, I would like to see included in incentive packages being extended to small and medium-sized expansions in tourism, or even investments in tourism, including, His Excellency, refurbishment and retooling of lodges and hotels. In keeping with my ambit of brief remarks, I want to underscore 3 plans and initiatives that the government, His Excellency, has outlined, and the tourism sector is grateful for. One of those is Georgetown Revival Plan, which will transform the city into a sustainable modern capital while preserving our unique heritage. This includes the Stabroek and Reading Hook waterfront development. I wish to also point out the work of the Honorable Minister Priyamani Chan in the work that she's doing in the Ministry of Local Government. And I think she deserves a round of applause. I wish to commend the government's call for expressions of interest in the development of eco-lodges and resorts in regions 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, and 9. My second item that I would like to give kudos to the government on is investment in road network and projects, which we would like to have contractors complete much sooner rather than later. On that note, High Commissioner J. Miller, I wish to denounce in the strongest possible term the Telegraph report on the UK-funded Linden to Muburu Road, which calls it a road to nowhere. Because road will be a game changer for us. Road networks will be a game changer for us. Not only because it significantly reduces the cost for our guests and travelers, both local and international. It will also provide us with the ability to access supplies for our operations at much reduced cost. I need not mention that it will also see reduction in costs for the community, because most of the places are within community. So roads are essential, and so it is rather unfortunate. And I don't believe the reporter did enough analysis behind why the road is relevant and what it means for the sector. So I would just want to state unequivocally that it benefits tourism in one of the most significant ways that will see transformational and sustainable development, because that's one of the key objectives of the UK fund. Because I think it deserves a round of applause indeed. You know, air travel will never be cheap. It might become affordable, but it will never be cheap. So I have had a meeting with the Aircraft Owners Association, who are also members of that. And they face a myriad of issues that, keeps the cost to where it is. And so one needs to look at that in the holistic picture. And that is why the roads are so important to us. I also want to mention the government's plan for the digital Guyana. The comprehensive plan to modernize government services through a focus on digital infrastructure, artificial intelligence, and cross-agency collaboration. This will greatly assist our operators and their staff in the interior who needs to access government service. In this regard, I would like to recognize the works of the Honorable Minister Zulfikar Ali, who is the Minister of Public Works and Government Efficiency and Implementation. I believe the title says it. So tonight, as we look around the room, we are reminded of the incredible journey that our tourism sector has taken. One that is driven by passion, perseverance, and unwavering commitment to excellence. Tonight is a moment for us to acknowledge